Hi, I'm Jackie. If you're over 50, then please do this with me. We're going to be challenging your memory and also challenging your glute strength. Two important things to work on if you're interested in slowing down aging, brain and body. All you need is a little bit of time, not much time, and a bit of effort, because you're important, your body is important, your mind, your memory is important, your health is important. So do the work, try it out, let me know what you think, and please subscribe because it's all about keeping you young and healthy and feeling your best. Let's get into strong glutes today. Very important for everything in life. Balance, mobility, metabolism, glute, powering up a mountain, all sports, dancing, also stability around your hips and your lower back, so less injuries, good for your knees, and looks better in jeans. So let's do the glute strengthening exercises and enjoy them and work at your own pace. So the first one is just squats. So if you're a little bit older and maybe have osteoarthritis in your knees, don't worry about that, very common. Just do little and try to sit back a little bit. Be a bit careful of your knees, you don't want to aggravate any pain. Some of you might go all the way down, some of you might add weights. I just do body weight, but some people like to add on weights as well. So feel free to use what you have at home. You could even use a bag of rice, but I feel it's hard enough just with my body weight. And you're trying to have a straight back, so try not to round out like this. So keep your back straight. And it's a lot to do with ankle flexibility, it's not just strength. So you have to remember 8 exercises. So this is as much about your memory as your glute strength. So this is number 1 of the 8 exercises you need to remember. Number 1, how are you going to remember it? Number 1, you're not having fun? Number 1. So I want you to try to make up little things you can remember. So number 2, lunges. So I'll show you, there's lots of ways we can do them. This is how we'll do them. So go down and then back. And then we'll just alternate one leg, then the other leg like this. Like this, yeah. Actually, my daughter told me my left side is my better side. So I'll do this side, isn't that funny? Okay. But I've never really thought about that. Apparently we have a better side. So on video, people know that, actors and stuff know that. So anyway, you're always learning. So this is easier. See, little steps, that's easier. Going right down, that's a bit hard. Number 2, how are you going to remember number 2? Okay, number 3 to remember is, looks like this. Do 10 on this side. So it was called, I just call it hip abduction. You can call it kick to the side. Number 3. Try to feel those outer hip muscles, the abductors. You can have, some of you might have the hand on the wall like that. I've lost count, but let's say that's 10 on that side. Other side, you can use the wall if you like. Keep your core switched on, keep your shoulders down, and try to feel those muscles. You can just do a little movement, especially if you have a sore hip, something like bursitis, just accepting any injuries, and do the best with what you have and just keep moving, because you know how important it is to your bones, to your brain, your circulation, your health, slowing down aging. Okay, so that was number 3. You can try to remember that one. Okay, so number 4 is we're going to strengthen, that was the outer hip, glute medius and minimus, now the back. So you can use the wall for this. See how I'm doing one leg first, like this, squeeze the belly. You can do it in the middle of the room. Keep your backs, your core, don't arch too much. Just squeeze the belly button in. Try to keep the hips level, that's the hardest part. And the standing leg's working hard to stabilise as well. And then the other leg. It is quite good to have the hands on the wall because then you can really focus on the glutes. Also squeeze your belly at the same time. So that's a co-contraction. You're squeezing at the front and the back. And it's not how far you go into it, it's just feeling the muscles are working. So how you remember that? How are you going to remember number 4? Back kicks, number 4. Kicking down the door, backwards. Okay, so number 5, we're going down to the floor. And we're coming back to that glute medius and minimus. So if you haven't done any Pilates, you'll have to have a look, clam to kick, back to clam. You open the clam, you can have your feet up if you've done Pilates. Kick out, feet together, close the clam. Open the clam, kick, feet together. Now if you haven't done Pilates, you probably will not have good technique if you haven't had a teacher correct you. So what people do is their top hip is rolled back and there's just a bit of instability, and so they're doing it like this. And you're getting the muscles a bit, but not a lot. So you're trying to keep, as they say, quality rather than quantity, or less is more. So if you're feeling those outer hip muscles, you are doing it though, but you're trying to keep the top hip forward. And it's not a big movement, it's just feeling the muscles. Okay, yeah, I mean, you can add resistance bands and weights, but I feel my body weight is enough for me. So onto your other side. And it is good to get to a local Pilates or yoga class that has a teacher that is really making sure you've got correct technique and you're not compensating and doing this and going into your strong areas and it's kind of avoiding your weaker areas. We want to actually get into our weaker areas, and often this outer hip area is weaker on a lot of people when they're older, and it's so important for balance actually, those outer hip stabilizers. So really make sure you do this exercise regularly, like a couple of times a week would be ideal. Because one day you'll be 80 or 90 and you don't want to fall over, because that's just really common and really absolutely dangerous. Really just never want that to happen to you. Okay, so how are you going to remember that? Okay, that was number 5. The number 6, we're working our chest muscles as well. So come into all fours, and then we're going to go one leg straight and bring it out, in, down, up. And we'll do 5, out, in, down, up. And what I see beginners doing, they're doing this. So that's not how to do it. You keep the hips level, you go out, in, down, up. Out, so it's not a big movement, and you've got to really work your chest and your belly as well. Do the other leg. So straight leg, out, hips are level, in, down, up. Keep squeezing your belly. And again, it really is important for the technique. So I see a lot of people, their heads forward, their backs sagging, the hips all twisted. You want to be level, square, and it's just a little movement. And you're feeling your glutes and you're feeling your shoulders as well. And you can do it on your belly if you have a shoulder injury like that. Okay, so that's that one. How are you going to remember that? So that was number 6. So number 7 is bridge. Now if you're a beginner, and I don't want you to look to the side at the screen, so I want you to have a look at bridge if you don't know it, and that's for beginners. Now just quickly look before you start doing it, because I don't want you to look side on. If you've done a lot of yoga and you're stronger and you know it's okay for your back, you can do the one-legged, and you know how they often say put your foot under in a particular spot. Actually put your foot in lots of different places. See, like I'm doing here, I'm putting my foot out here, having to see how muscles work differently. Putting my foot further forward. So working the muscles in lots of different ways. So start this one, don't just listen to me, don't look, I don't want you to hurt your neck. So, I mean, if you're under 40, you can look side on, but a lot of you, my market is generally over 50s, 60s, 70s, so you've got to be a bit careful of your neck. Okay, so just going through the details, both feet down, just slowly and gently if you're not used to this. If you're used to it, do one leg, maybe 5 on one leg, 5 on the other leg, but also change the position of the foot. Be a little bit careful of your lower back and your knees and your neck, but I want you to feel your glutes. So push them a bit there, and how are you going to remember number 7? This is one of the best ones for glute strength. Really, really good one. Really nice and tones them up too. Okay, and number 8 is actually not for strength, it's a little release. So see what I'm doing here? I think most people know this one. So, and there's also, if you know your yoga, pigeon pose, there's lots of different stretches. Cross-legged forward bend I really like. But here I've got my right leg up and trying to get my right foot towards my left shoulder. So, I mean, some people like to grab through to the left shin, and that can work. I actually like to try to get my right thigh turning out and push it away there and get more external rotation to that deep hip. And get that outer thigh glute stretch, and this is good for your lower back because you don't want your lower back to be too tight after some of those exercises. We want to be strong but not tight and stiff. And then the other leg, number 8. How can you remember number 8? Like something like number 8 is great. It's a stretch, it's not too hard. If you have a stiffer hip, it is really, really good to do extra. Hold the stretch for longer. Okay, so we're going to go through all those 8 exercises again. So it's as much as a test of how much can you remember them, and also using all the muscles a bit more. So endurance. So what was number 1? You're not having fun? Number 1. So we won't do quite as many, but go as fast as you can if your knees can handle it, or just go gently is also fine. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, what was number 2? Can you remember number 2? If you can't remember, all the more reason to keep doing it. So you can do little steps, and this is your glute. This is like an explosive movement. Keep your back straight, don't round out. Keep your eyes just looking straight ahead. And another way you can do glutes, see what I'm doing like that? So squeezing the left glute there. And the other, you can do that as well. That's a good one. Okay, number 3. What's number 3? Okay, yep, this one. 1, 2, you can have one hand on the wall or a chair. 4, 5, try to feel those abductors, really important to strengthen there. 8, 9, 10, try to do 10 on the other side, 8 or 10, or maybe 5 is enough for your hip today. Aware of your posture. Okay, what is number 4? Yeah, okay, I can remember it like this. 1, 2, squeeze your belly. 3, 4, 5. Be grateful for your body. You're never going to be younger than you are right now. So enjoy the body you have now. Do the other leg. And put some work into your body. You know how important it is. Staying strong, especially those glutes, especially your memory. You can do both at the same time. Okay, now can you remember number 5? Lying on your side, classic Pilates here. Can you remember which side you lay on? I think I just lay on the opposite side, but it doesn't matter too much. But it is good to try to do one side then the other side. Okay, other side, and even just, if you're in your 40s, I'm nearly 50, turning over on one side, not so hard, but the older you get, that takes a little while, because that's just mobility too. Turning over, standing up, and just accept you're not moving as quickly, but the important thing is you just keep moving, and you keep moving in different ways. So not always doing the same things all the time, always moving in different ways will keep our body and our brain younger. And that's the point of it all, the point of my exercises. Okay, What is number 6? Number 6. You can lie on your belly if you have a shoulder injury. Can you remember number 6? Down, up, out, in, down, up, out, in. Keep the belly switched on. Keep the tops of the shoulders down. Keep that, keep that stability. Do the other leg, just a little bit. Squeeze those glutes. Squeeze that belly. And don't be looking for big movements, just feeling those muscles, squeezing into the glutes. Make sure your head's not forward, make sure your shoulders don't pull up. Okay, number 7. Number 7. Can you remember it? I can remember it because I made it up, so I should. Okay, so number 7, remember, easier if your back is a bit tricky. Then just really gentle, like even just little pelvic tilts like I'm doing here. Tiny little movements. Careful of looking side on. Some of you can do bigger and some of you can try one leg and maybe have a weaker side, so you might do extra. And I find I can really activate my muscles in different ways by moving my foot around. So you have the foot closer in, have the foot out, have the foot further forward. Try the other leg, and you'll find some places you're weaker in, that you need to work harder. And they're the ones you really want to target. So you want to target your weaker areas. But this is the best one, I think, for really getting into the glutes, really strengthening them up, toning them up, lifting them. Just be careful of your lower back. Can you remember number 8? Yeah, it's a stretch. Oh, heaven. So this one might suit you, but I'll show you the other alternative that some of you might enjoy. It's up to your knees. See this one? It's a great stretch. Either one, but you make the right decision for your body, your knees, wherever you're at. As you hold the stretch, I try to take some deep breaths in and out. Into your belly. Having a relaxed system is just as important as strength and memory, and it's all connected, of course. So we're into the other leg. Stretch that glute now. After strengthening, have a good stretch. A few deep breaths in and out. Mainly in through the nose and out through the nose. Okay, so you don't have to do them all again unless you feel like you'd like. It would be good to do them all again, but I know people aren't that patient with YouTube, so you're probably done if not already left. But see if you can remember them, because that memory. What was number 1? Squats. Can you remember number 2? Lunges. Number 3, side. Number 4, that one. Number 5, this one. The other side. Number 6, this one. Yep, that one. Number 7, this one. Number 8, this one. Maybe you've got time to just lie on your back. Press stop on your device. I hope you've got it on the big screen. So work out the technology with your HDMI so you can do your exercise classes on your big screen. Please subscribe. I've got lots of good stuff for you. Have a great day. Thank you so much. Bye.